Have you ever walked through a crowd in Tokyo, Kyoto, or Osaka and noticed something? Everyone seems effortlessly slim, graceful, balanced, and yet no one's counting calories, no one's skipping meals, no one's living at the gym. So, how do they do it? In a world drowning in diet trends and quick fixes, Japan stands quietly apart. Not because of magic, not because of willpower, but because of something deeper, a culture, a rhythm, a set of small choices repeated every single day. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on one of the healthiest nations on Earth. From rice bowls to school lunches, from ancient rituals to modern city streets, you'll discover lessons that could reshape how you think about food, movement, and what it really means to be healthy. This isn't just about Japan, it's about us. What if the secret to a longer, slimmer, more joyful life wasn't found in a supplement, but in a shift of perspective? Let's find out, together. For years, we've told ourselves a quiet little lie. Maybe they're just born that way. When we see the Japanese walking gracefully through life, healthy, light on their feet, rarely struggling with weight, it's tempting to chalk it up to genes. And to be fair, science has backed that idea, at least a little. Research shows that East Asians, including the Japanese, often have slightly higher metabolic rates and naturally smaller body frames. Some studies even suggest they process fats differently, making it less likely for them to store excess weight. But here's the twist. Take a Japanese person out of Japan, drop them into the heart of Western culture. Fast food, oversized portions, sugary drinks, and guess what happens? They gain weight, just like anyone else. There's a study that followed Japanese immigrants to the US over time. As their eating habits shifted to match the American norm, their rates of obesity and lifestyle diseases rose dramatically. It didn't take long for their genetic advantage to disappear. And that's where the illusion begins to crack. Because slimness in Japan isn't written in DNA, it's written in daily life. In the rhythm of small bowls, bicycles, green tea, and an ancient phrase whispered before meals. It's not about lucky genes, it's about deliberate culture. Let me tell you about my friend Kenji. He grew up in Tokyo, rice 3 times a day, biking to school, meals at regular hours. Then he moved to Chicago for work. Within a year, he gained 25 pounds. Not because he changed, but because everything around him did. The portions were bigger, the walking was gone, the soda was everywhere. Kenji didn't lose his genes, he lost his habits. So if we've been believing that our bodies are doomed by biology, it's time to rewrite the story. Because if slimness can fade when the environment changes, then it can also return when the habits do. Coming up next, what if eating small actually made you feel full? Let's explore how Japanese portion sizes do more than shrink your plate. They reshape your entire relationship with food. Let's imagine 2 dinners. One is served on a single oversized plate, a mountain of mashed potatoes, a steak bigger than your hand, and maybe a side of something green, lost somewhere under a pile of sauce. The other arrives as 5 small dishes, a delicate bowl of rice, a slice of grilled salmon, a few pickled vegetables, a bowl of warm miso soup, and a bite of something sweet to end. Now here's the surprise. The second meal will probably leave you more satisfied, not because it's heavier, but because it's smarter. In Japan, meals are about balance, not bulk. Smaller portions don't mean less enjoyment. They mean more intention, more time to taste, more colors on the table, more textures in each bite. There's a quiet psychology at play. When your brain sees variety, it feels fulfilled. When you eat slowly, picking up chopsticks, savoring flavors, it gives your body time to catch up, to realize it's full. Compare that to the Western habit of eating with a fork in one hand and a phone in the other. Food becomes fuel, not an experience. And so we rush. We overeat. We miss the signals. Studies have shown that the average American consumes over 3,600 calories a day. In Japan, closer to 2,700. That's nearly 1,000 calories less, without diets, without hunger, without guilt. There's a phrase in Japanese culture, Harahachi Buu. Eat until you're 80% full. And when your portions are small and beautiful, it's easier to listen to that. Even their plates help. Did you know that the average dinner plate in the US has grown 36% in diameter since the 1960s? But in a Japanese home, plates are modest, bowls are shallow. The presentation is humble, but rich with thought. This isn't about restriction, it's about rhythm. Small portions invite us to slow down, to enjoy, to respect the act of eating, not rush through it. Next, we'll dive deeper into one of the most humble yet powerful staples in the Japanese diet, a grain we've eaten for generations, yet misunderstood completely: rice. It's just a bowl of rice. White, plain, no butter, no sauce, no cheese. To many Westerners, it seems boring. But in Japan, that humble bowl is everything. It's history, it's health, it's home. Every day, across millions of households, rice is steamed with care, not drowned in salt, not layered with cream. Just rice. And that simplicity holds a quiet power. Unlike bread, often slathered with butter, or built into sandwiches stuffed with processed meat, rice delivers clean energy. No hidden oils, no preservatives, no need for sugar to make it tasty. You see, bread and dairy only entered the Japanese diet after World War II. And even then, they never took the spotlight. Rice remained the center of the table, served at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Sometimes alone, sometimes with fish or pickles, but always with purpose. And here's where it gets interesting. Rice has a low calorie density compared to foods like pizza or pastries. It fills the stomach without overwhelming it. It satisfies without seducing. A single bowl of steamed rice, around 200 calories, paired with vegetables and protein, can keep hunger at bay for hours. Now imagine replacing that with a croissant. Flaky, rich, buttery, almost double the calories. Gone in 4 bites, and hunger returns before noon. But rice, it's steady, it's grounding, it slows you down. I remember visiting a Japanese farmer in Niigata, where some of the country's best rice is grown. He told me, "We don't eat rice to feel full, we eat rice to feel centered." That hit me. Because in America, we chase fullness. We chase flavor highs. In Japan, they chase balance. Even in supermarkets, you'll find pre-packed rice balls, onigiri, wrapped in seaweed, filled with a bit of tuna or plum. Portable, clean, satisfying. A world away from the typical grab-and-go donut or hot dog. It's not about making rice exotic. It's about seeing it for what it is. A reminder that food can be simple and still sacred. Next, we'll step into an ancient rule from Okinawa, one that asks us to stop, even when we think we could keep going. It's not about eating less, it's about eating wisely. Let's talk about Harahachi Buu. What if the secret to a healthier body was simply knowing when to stop? In Okinawa, one of the world's longest living communities, there's a phrase quietly passed down through generations. Harahachi Buu. It means, eat until you are 80% full, not stuffed, not satisfied to the point of sleepiness, just enough. It sounds simple, but in a world of bottomless fries, supersized combos, and clean your plate culture, it's revolutionary. Because Harahachi Buu isn't a diet. It's not about cutting carbs or fasting for 16 hours. It's about listening to your body, to your hunger, to your own sense of enough. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stopped eating, not because the plate was empty, but because your body whispered, "That's enough"? In Okinawa, that whisper is a way of life. Meals are eaten slowly, food is respected, hunger is acknowledged, not feared, and satiety is welcomed, not forced. There's something profound about stopping at 80%. You leave the table light, energized, clear-headed. Your body doesn't have to fight to digest a feast. It just keeps moving, gently and gracefully. And the science backs it up. Eating slightly less at each meal has been linked to lower risks of heart disease, diabetes, and inflammation. It eases the strain on the body, especially as we age. In fact, many centenarians in Okinawa say this one habit, this simple rule, is what keeps them slim, active, and sharp well into their 90s and 100s. They don't obsess over food, they honor it. And maybe that's the shift we need. Because Harahachi Buu isn't really about fullness. It's about freedom, from overindulgence, from guilt, from the endless cycle of too much. So next time you sit down to eat, try this. Take a breath, slow your pace, check in. And when you feel that quiet 80%, push the plate away with gratitude. Up next, we'll explore how the Japanese stay active without ever setting foot in a gym. Because for them, movement isn't a workout, it's a way of life. Let's walk into the heart of that idea. In Part 5, we often think staying fit means lifting weights, counting reps, sweating on treadmills. But in Japan, most people stay in shape without ever stepping inside a gym. How? They walk, every single day, not as exercise, not to burn off dessert, but because life is designed that way. In cities like Tokyo, Osaka, or Kyoto, the rhythm of daily life requires movement. People walk to the train station, they climb stairs at the subway, they stroll through neighborhood markets, children walk to school, seniors walk to the store. It's not a workout, it's just life. The average Japanese adult takes between 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day, without a fitness tracker, without motivation posters, without a New Year's resolution. Compare that to the average American, whose step count often struggles to reach 4,000 thanks to car commutes and desk jobs. And the impact? It's massive. Walking may seem ordinary, but it keeps the metabolism active, improves circulation, strengthens joints, and supports digestion, especially in older adults. It also reduces stress, boosts mood, and helps regulate blood sugar after meals. I remember watching an elderly woman, maybe in her late 80s, walking up a steep hill in Kyoto with groceries in hand. No cane, no struggle, just steady, purposeful steps. She didn't see it as exercise. She saw it as independence. And that's the beauty of it. In Japan, staying active isn't a goal. It's a byproduct of a thoughtfully designed life. Sidewalks are clean, trains are reliable, communities are walkable. It's not just about willpower, it's about environment. Back in the US, we often feel guilty for not working out enough. But maybe the secret isn't in doing more. Maybe it's in restructuring life, so movement happens without thinking. Take the stairs, walk to the store, stroll after dinner. Let your body move the way it was designed to. Because when you build motion into every day, you don't need a gym. You just need a life that moves with you. And if walking is the quiet secret of Japanese cities, then cycling is its graceful cousin. In Part 6, we'll pedal deeper into how two wheels support a lifetime of balance and health. In many places, a bicycle is a luxury, a weekend hobby, a piece of fitness equipment. But in Japan, it's transportation, it's daily life. From the morning rush to evening errands, bikes glide silently through Japanese streets, carrying schoolchildren, businessmen in suits, elderly shoppers, and mothers with 2 kids and a basket full of groceries. And they're not riding to get in shape. They're riding because it's the fastest, simplest, most natural way to move. In cities like Kyoto or Fukuoka, bike lanes are safe, sidewalks are wide, and distances between home, market, and station are short. It's a setup that encourages people to stay active, not by willpower, but by design. One 20-minute bike ride burns over 150 calories. Do that twice a day, to work and back, and you've just built an extra hour of movement into your life without touching a treadmill. But it's not just about numbers. Cycling brings rhythm, fresh air, a sense of freedom. Even joy. I once watched a father in Nagoya pick up his daughter from school. She hopped onto the back of his bicycle, her tiny arms wrapped around his waist, both of them smiling as they pedaled home through the falling sakura petals. It wasn't exercise, it was connection. In contrast, Western cities are often built for cars. Even short distances require driving. Parking lots replace parks. And with that, our steps disappear. Our movement fades. And slowly, so does our vitality. But what if we brought the bicycle back? Not as a fitness fad, but as a lifestyle tool. What if we asked, can I ride there instead? Even once or twice a week? Japan's example shows that sustainable fitness isn't found in gyms, it's found in the habits woven into daily life. So whether it's 2 wheels or 2 feet, motion, done often and done naturally, is what keeps the Japanese body light and their spirit even lighter. Next up, we'll step into the cafeteria, where health habits start early. Because in Japan, even school lunch teaches more than just nutrition. It teaches lifelong balance. In the US, school lunch often means pizza Fridays, chocolate milk, maybe a bag of chips on the side. It's convenient, it's fast. But is it teaching our children anything except how to eat fast food 5 days a week? In Japan, lunch at school is an education. Walk into an elementary school cafeteria in Tokyo or Okinawa, and you won't find vending machines or soda fountains. Instead, you'll see trays filled with warm rice, a piece of grilled fish or chicken, miso soup with vegetables, and maybe a fresh orange slice. Balanced, simple, delicious. But here's what's truly remarkable. The children serve each other. Every day, students take turns wearing aprons and hairnets, dishing out food to their classmates. There are no cafeteria workers here. No one standing behind the counter. Just kids, learning responsibility, teamwork, and the value of nourishment. One scoop at a time. Teachers eat the same meal, at the same table. No one brings a Diet Coke or sneaks in snacks. It's communal. It's respectful. It's culture. And portion sizes? They're just enough. Not too much, not too little. Designed by licensed nutritionists to meet health standards, not to maximize profit. One Japanese principal once said, "We don't just feed the students, we shape their relationship with food for life." And it works. Studies have shown that habits formed before age 10 can shape health outcomes for decades. When a child learns that vegetables are normal, that sugar is occasional, that mealtime is shared, not rushed, they carry those values into adulthood. In fact, many Japanese adults credit their slim figures and healthy routines not to self-control, but to how they were raised. They don't fight cravings or watch carbs. They simply continue what they learned as kids. Now imagine if we redesigned our school lunches, not just for nutrition, but for character, to teach presence, gratitude, balance. Because health isn't just built in hospitals, it's built in lunchrooms. Coming up in Part 8, we'll step back and take it all in, from the rituals to the walking paths, from the lunch trays to the rice bowls, and ask, what can the rest of the world learn from this quiet culture of balance? And how can we bring a piece of it home? Let's take a breath. Step back and look at the full picture. What if staying slim wasn't about restriction, punishment, or chasing the latest trend? What if it was about something far gentler, something quieter, something cultural? Because in Japan, health doesn't come from willpower. It comes from structure, from rice that fills without bloating, from portions that satisfy without overwhelming, from walking paths that stretch between train stations, from chopsticks that slow the meal, from children who grow up knowing how food feels, not just how it tastes. It's not magic, it's not genetics, it's a way of life. And yes, some of it is shaped by the environment, the cities, the schools, the rituals. But here's the truth. Culture begins with choice, and choice begins with you. You can serve smaller portions. You can take a short walk after lunch. You can replace 1 soda a day with green tea. You can pause before a meal and ask yourself, am I already full enough? You don't need to move to Tokyo. You don't need to speak Japanese. You just need to listen to the quiet wisdom beneath the noise of modern life. Because in the end, Japan isn't offering us a diet. It's offering us a philosophy, a belief that food is not a battle, that health is not earned through suffering, that slimness can come not from shame, but from grace. So maybe the real question isn't, why are Japanese people slim? Maybe the question is, what part of their culture do you want to invite into your life? Start with one habit, start today, and let that one choice become a ripple into a rhythm, into a life of balance. What we've explored today isn't just about Japan, it's about possibility. It's about a different way to live, a life where food isn't feared, but respected, where movement isn't punishment, but part of the scenery, where meals are small, but full of meaning, and health is simply the byproduct of daily grace. The Japanese lifestyle teaches us that slimness doesn't come from extremes, not from starving yourself, not from chasing fads, not from shaming your body. It comes from balance, from listening, from rhythm. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to change everything. You just have to start with one thing. Maybe it's swapping your afternoon soda for green tea. Maybe it's walking to the store instead of driving. Maybe it's pausing before that second helping and asking, do I really need this? Because change doesn't begin with a revolution. It begins with a quiet decision repeated every day. So now I ask you, which Japanese habit could you start today? Eating until 80% full? Smaller, mindful meals? Or simply walking a little more each day? Let me know in the comments. And if this video stirred something in you, if it offered a fresh perspective on your own health, give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more stories like this. Stories that don't just inform, but transform. Until next time, take care of your body, honor your meals, and walk gently through the world.